Hey, English learners, welcome back to the English Mint podcast. Learn daily, speak fluently. I'm Adam.
And I'm Hana. If you are watching this and you still translate words in your head before you speak, you are actively destroying your chances of being fluent, and it is completely your fault.
Destroying? That is harsh. I understand English perfectly when I listen, but I just can't speak fast. I need a second to translate. It's normal.
No, you are not stuck. You are repeating the same mistake. You are addicted to your native language. Most people watching this will never become fluent because they refuse to stop doing this.
But that is how we were taught in school. We learn a word in English and we write the meaning in our own language. I have notebooks full of translations.
And look where that got you. You are here, struggling. You are doing double the work. But here's the truth. You are trained wrong. Your brain is wired for translation, not communication.
It is true. I freeze. Let me tell you what happened yesterday. My manager asked me a simple question in a meeting. What is the status of the project? My brain completely stopped.
You felt everyone looking at you.
Yes, I knew the vocabulary, I knew the grammar rules, but my mouth did not move. It felt like my brain was a loading screen.
Because the conversation is moving at 100 miles per hour. You catch the English, you send it to your brain, you translate it to your language, you think of the answer in your language, you translate it back to English, then you try to speak.
Yes, that is exactly what happens. It takes so much energy. By the time I have the English sentence ready, the topic is changed.
It is too slow. The conversation is already gone. You are being left behind. Others are moving faster than you.
I know. My colleagues looked at me waiting. It was embarrassing. I felt like a child.
If you ignore this, you'll pay for it. You will miss promotions. You will lose opportunities because they think you don't know the answer, but you do know it. You are just trapped in the translation loop.
So how do I fix it? How do I break the loop?
I will give you the exact 5-step system today. But the biggest mistake is coming first. If you don't stop doing this one thing, nothing I teach you today will work.
Okay, I'm listening. I'm ready to change. What is the mistake?
I will show you. Let's look at your daily life. What did you do this morning when you woke up?
I woke up. I looked at my phone. I made coffee.
When you looked at your coffee cup today, what word flashed in your brain?
The word in my native language, obviously.
Exactly. This is where people fail. You see an object, you name it in your language. You are living your daily life entirely in your native language, but expecting your brain to magically switch to English when you step into a meeting.
Because I live in my country. My family speaks my language.
That is an excuse. It doesn't work like that. The brain does what it practices. You practice translating 23 hours a day and expect to be fluent for 1 hour. It is mathematically impossible.
So I should walk around my house saying coffee, table, chair? That feels silly.
Yes, but almost nobody realizes this. It is not about the word, it is about the image.
What do you mean by the image?
Think about an apple right now. Close your eyes and think about it.
Okay, I have it.
Did you see the letters A-P-P-L-E, or did you see a red, round fruit?
I saw the fruit.
Good. Now, when a native speaker says apple, they don't think of words, they see the red fruit. When you hear apple, you think of the red fruit, then you think of your native word, then you understand. You have a middleman.
Oh, wow, I do have a middleman. My native language is always in the middle.
And this is dangerous, because your native language is acting like a filter. We need to kill the middleman.
How do we kill it? It happens automatically. I don't try to translate, it just happens. It's a reflex.
Because it is a habit, and habits can be broken. We are going to rewire your brain right now.
Right now? On the podcast?
Yes, we are going to train. I am going to ask you simple questions. You will answer immediately. Do not think, do not translate, just look at the image in your mind and push the English out. Ready?
I'm a little nervous, but ready.
What color is the sky?
Blue.
What do you drink when you are thirsty?
Water.
What do you drive to work?
Car.
Did you translate any of those?
No, I didn't have time. You asked too fast.
Exactly. You didn't have time to use the middleman. The image went straight to the English word.
Because they were easy words. I have known those words since I was a child.
It does not matter. The system is the same. Most people will miss this. They think they need more vocabulary to stop translating. You do not need more words. You need more speed with the words you already have.
So I need to force myself to answer faster, even if I make a mistake?
Yes, you need to bypass the native language. Let's do it again, slightly harder. Describe your living room. Go.
It has a sofa, a TV, a big window, and a...
Stop. You hesitated. Why?
I was trying to think of the word for the thing on the floor.
The rug?
Yes, rug. I thought of my native word first. I paused because I wanted to find the exact English translation.
Because you were looking for the perfect word. Stop trying to be perfect. Perfection is the enemy of fluency. If you don't know rug, say carpet. If you don't know carpet, say thing on the floor. Just keep moving.
Just keep moving. Don't stop to search for the translation. But isn't it bad to speak simple English? I want to sound professional.
You sound less professional when you stare at people in silence for 5 seconds. Fast and simple is always better than slow and perfect. This is how you take control. When you stop translating, you control the speed of the conversation. When you translate, the conversation controls you.
That makes so much sense. I always feel like I'm chasing the conversation. I'm always one step behind.
We are going to change that right now. I promised you the 5-step system. This is the blueprint. If you follow this for 30 days, your brain will change forever.
I'm ready. Give me step 1.
Step 1 is visual anchoring. You must name your world. Starting today, when you look at an object, do not let your native language claim it. Claim it in English.
So when I open my fridge, I look at the milk and say milk.
Yes, in your head or out loud. Connect the visual image directly to the English sound. No native text in between. Do this for 50 objects a day.
50 objects. That's easy. I can do that on my drive to work. Tree, road, car, building.
Exactly. But this is not the worst part. Nouns are easy. Verbs are hard. That brings us to step 2, action narration.
Action narration. What is that?
You have to narrate your life in real time, like a sports commentator on TV. Tell yourself what you are doing as you are doing it.
You want me to talk to myself?
Yes, I am walking to the kitchen. I am opening the door. I am feeling hungry. I am turning on the laptop.
People will think I'm crazy if I walk around my office doing that.
Let them think you're crazy. While they're judging you, you are building fluency. Do it silently in your head if you are at work. Do it out loud when you are alone. Do it in the shower. Do it while cooking.
So I'm forcing my brain to produce English sentences naturally without an audience.
Yes, you take away the pressure. When there is no pressure, the middleman gets weak. You are building the muscle of thinking directly.
Okay, step 1, label objects. Step 2, narrate my actions. What is step 3?
Step 3 is emotional bypass. This is where people fail. When you are happy or angry or stressed, you immediately revert to your native language.
Yes, if I drop my phone, I yell in my native language. I don't yell in English.
Because emotion is tied to your mother tongue. We need to build emotional bridges to English. When you feel a strong emotion, force yourself to state it in English.
Like saying, I'm so angry right now.
Yes, or this is frustrating, or I'm really excited. Keep it simple. You are training your brain that English is not just for business meetings. It is for human feelings.
I like that. It makes the language feel alive, not just like a textbook.
But almost nobody realizes this. The next step is the most brutal. Step 4, the 3-second rule.
The 3-second rule sounds stressful.
It is. Remember that meeting you talked about when your boss asked for the project status?
Yes, the loading screen moment.
From now on, when you are asked a question in English, you have a maximum of 3 seconds to start speaking.
3 seconds? But what if I don't have the full sentence ready?
You start speaking anyway. Buy time. Use filler phrases. That's an interesting point. Let me think about that. Well, from my perspective,
So I start making noise in English, so my brain has to catch up in English.
Exactly. If you stay silent, your brain uses the silence to translate. If your mouth is moving in English, your brain is forced to stay in English mode.
That is a massive hack. I use the silence to translate. If I kill the silence, I kill the translation.
You kill the silence, you kill the middleman. You are forcing the English out. It will be messy at first. You will make grammar mistakes.
And that's okay? I'm so afraid of sounding stupid.
This is what separates top 1% thinkers. They prefer to sound a little messy but confident, rather than perfectly silent and terrified. Fluency is flow. Grammar is secondary.
Fluency is flow. I need to write that down. I care too much about grammar rules.
The rules are locking you in a cage. Break the cage. Now, the final step. Step 5. This one requires discipline. Subtitle detox.
Subtitle detox. Let me guess. No more subtitles in my language?
0. Never again. If you watch a movie, watch it in English. If you need help, use English subtitles.
But what if I am watching a complex movie and I miss the plot? What if I only understand 60% of it?
Then you survive on 60%. You are training your brain to survive in an English environment. When you use native subtitles, you are feeding the middleman. You are giving the middleman exactly what he wants.
Oh, I see. I am keeping the translation habit alive every time I read my native language on the screen.
Yes, you are feeding the disease. Cut it off. Watch in English. Read in English. Listen to this podcast. If you don't understand a word, guess it from the picture. Guess it from the context. Do not open a translation app.
This feels like a huge shift. I feel like I've been doing it wrong my whole life. I've been treating English like a math problem to solve, not a language to live in.
You have, but now you know the truth. You are not a student anymore. Students study grammar. Students translate. Students take tests. You are an English speaker now. Act like it.
I am an English speaker. I don't need the middleman.
But what happens next changes everything. Because once you follow these 5 steps, once you connect the image directly to the English word, your personality comes back.
My personality?
Yes, right now you are a boring version of yourself in English.
Ouch, but true. I am funny in my language. I'm confident. I tell jokes. In English, I'm quiet like a robot. I just give information.
Because robots process data. They translate code. Humans communicate emotion. You cannot communicate emotion, humor, or authority if you are running a translation app in your head.
I never thought about it like that. I'm just a translation machine right now. My colleagues don't even know the real me.
Yes, and machines can be replaced. This is why your income is stuck. This is why you are not getting the respect you deserve at work. People connect with personalities, not with translation machines.
Because I don't show my real self. I'm hiding behind the translation delay.
Exactly. English is not a skill, it's leverage. If you can think directly in English, you can joke, you can argue, you can lead the meeting, you can persuade people. You have leverage.
I want that leverage. I'm tired of being the quiet guy who just nods and smiles. I have good ideas. I want to share them instantly.
Then you have to change your daily habits. Tomorrow morning, when you wake up, do not touch your native language. Start with step 1, name your world.
Name my world, narrate my actions, connect my emotions, use the 3-second rule, and detox from subtitles. I can do this.
It will be exhausting for the first week. Your brain will physically hurt. It will crave the easy way out. It will beg you to translate.
Because I'm building a new neural pathway. I'm literally rewiring my brain.
Exactly. But if you push through the pain, you will reach the other side. And the other side is freedom. The words will just appear in your mouth. You won't even know where they came from.
I want that freedom. I feel lighter already, like a heavy weight is gone just knowing the process.
That is the feeling of fluency starting to happen. It starts in the mind before it comes out of the mouth. You have to believe you are an English thinker before you become one.
Thank you, Hannah. This was a massive wake-up call. I needed this brutal honesty.
You did. And to everyone listening, if you watched till here, you're already ahead of 90%. Most people clicked away when I told them it was their fault in the first minute. They wanted an easy trick. They didn't want the truth. But you stayed.
Because they want the leverage. They're tired of being stuck.
Exactly. Now go use it. Stop translating, start thinking. We'll see you in the next episode.
That's our show for today. Thanks for listening.
We appreciate you tuning in. Make sure to hit that subscribe button.